up, guys? Welcome to another episode, another vlog. I had got to the Reefer, Lola, Georgia. My appointment's not till 4. I've been there before. I know I could park there and just sit there till my appointment. Might as well. But I crunk up my Reefer when I left Gainesville, and I set it to -10 and let it get to -10. So my idea was I was gonna walk in there and see if I can check in early. And if they would have said, oh, if you're down to temp, then we can get you loaded, maybe, you know. If not, then I would have went back out there, turned it off, and then sat there till my appointment time. But luckily I did that, because when I got there, I got out of my truck, my Reefer turned off as soon as I got out of my truck. And I look back and I got an amber light. So I turn it off, I cycle it off, clear the code, cycle it back off, and I do a pre-trip on it. That's what I usually do every time before I start my Reefer, right? Every time I start a trip, I do a pre-trip, see if the system recognizes any failure, right? So I do a pre-trip, fails again. So the low suction superheat. So now I know I have to go get this repaired before I pick up this load. If it would have stayed on after, I would have just kept it on and see if it turned back off, and it immediately turned back off. So I will go get this fixed. They said it was he said most of the time it's just a sensor, so that's good. So, and luckily the only carrier I know of without Googling is a carrier down in Forest Park, Georgia, and that's on the south part of Atlanta. So me pushing up here from Gainesville all the way down into Forest Park, it's a big L. That has to be at least 60 miles, maybe. Probably even more. So luckily they have one up here in Gainesville, MHC transcode. So we're headed there. Guys, I do not know how to. When I turn my truck off, man, I just get cold and I just sit. I don't know. Maybe it's the army in me, but I'll just sit there and be cold all night. Instead of getting up, turning my truck on, I'll sit there in the cold until it's time to wake up, and then get warm like that. It doesn't make sense, but it happens every time. I was like, oh, I'm gonna turn my truck off. It happens every time. I get a little cough. So yeah, bump all that. We're headed over here to Transco here in Gainesville. Hopefully it's not a big ticket item. These trailers were the trailers that I have bought. All the trailers I have bought have been owned and maintained by Hirschbach out of Sioux Falls, Iowa. So hopefully, you know, for the most part, we've never had a problem with our Reefers. So yeah, get here. Hopefully it's not a big problem. I'm gonna let them check the refrigerant level as well, and yeah, hopefully it's, fingers crossed, hopefully it's nothing big. So we're not too far, 6 miles. Yeah, we'll be there. See, this is the good thing to experience. Come on, stop now. I looked it up on Google Maps where I needed to go, and I seen it was kind of in like a neighborhood, so I was like, oh, okay, let's check it out. But luckily, I've been this way. I've been back here. I think this is Gainesville, Oakwood, something like that. But I've been not this performance food group. I didn't come to this side. I came to this side over here. So I know this road allows trucks for the most part, and it's at the end of this road. So when I looked at it, I was gonna go another way, but then I was like, oh, performance food groups. And I've been over here up on this hill to performance food groups. So looks kind of windy. The thing about Georgia is they got narrow roads. In some places they got narrow roads, but they allow trucks. That's the crazy thing about it. So, oh man, look at that dock right there. That guy has to pull in that way and then back into the dock. It's pretty neat. So let's get to this. Look, it's just crazy to me. You got industrial stuff, and then right across the street you got houses. That's always been kind of, the Pennsylvania is just like that. You'll be going through the middle of town. See, I actually probably was gonna take that road right there. It looks like it. So either way, I was good because I was gonna come down that road right here, and that looks like it looks pretty new actually. So might take it on the way out, but it's always best just to, the way you came in, the way you go out. I'm very lucky that this happened during right before I was picking up a load. I'm glad I turned it on. I try to get into good habits of testing equipment every time I stop, every time I can get time. I like to test equipment. Look at that W9, beautiful. Back over there, land of trailers. Looks good. Look at that cab over there. Looks so nice. You guys probably can't see it, but cab over there. If I had money, I'd go get something like that, fix it up. We're here, Transcold MHC. Carrier customers love all keep right. Guys, let me check in real quick and see if these guys can help me out. Well, guys, ended up being bigger than expected. Ended up being a problem with my compressor. Now I gotta get this problem fixing my compressor. So here goes to 2 months with no break. That's gonna be they already quoted me $2,000. So, been here almost 6 hours. Luckily, these boys got right on it. They actually took turns during lunch to continue on my truck, on my trailer. So hopefully they get me good to go by the end of this, by today. Very unfortunate. Can't catch a break. Well, I know you hear the good noise in the background. These guys got me fixed up. They worked overtime on this. They told me if you get it fixed right now, then we can get it done by the end of our shift. If not, then you have to wait till tomorrow, because it was over a 5-hour job. Some seals on my compressor were gone. They were leaking, causing leaks in my system. Also, my expansion evaporator, I think we said, expansion valve, that was messed up, so they had to replace that. These guys got me knocked out and got me taken care of. So if you guys are ever in Gainesville, North Atlanta, North Georgia in general, and you guys want good speedy repair, good wholesome people, every tech, the lady inside, they all were very nice to me, and they took care of me, and they came and even checked on me from time to time and kept me informed on what's going on. So if you guys ever need repairs on your carrier unit, I highly suggest MHC Transcode here in Gainesville, Georgia. I'll put the address and the business, Google business here on the top. But here's the location. The lady even told me if I want to leave, I could, go get some food and come back. And she even said, hey, once you're done, go back there and park if you don't have a load for today. I know how it is on the road, all the stories she heard. So I'm very happy and pleased. I know I always complain about breakdowns and bad stuff, but this is the bad part of trucking that people don't understand. People really get told all the good stuff. They get told, hey, oh, you could gross $5,000 a year. Oh, I made $300,000 that last year. But they don't tell you, if you gross $300,000, $100,000, you probably spending fuel, repairs. This year alone, from January to now, I'm already close to $20,000 in repairs. So it's part of the industry. Sometimes it gets tough, and sometimes you get to the point where you're like, man, bump this, I give up. But toughs like this, I've been in tougher situations, and times like this, that's what they want people to do. They want people to quit. So my dispatcher's looking for a load. Until then, I'm gonna go eat me a sandwich and some chips out of my truck, maybe take a nap, and see if he can find me a load today. I'm in a good market, Atlanta. They kind of load 24/7 here, so you can find a load any time of the day usually here. Might not be where you want to go, but there's always a load here. And that's why Atlanta, and also Atlanta, the market of Atlanta right now is really good with a reefer. So if you can come to Atlanta, you can get a good load if you book it in advance. So we'll see what we get. Might be the morning, might be the night. But I'm fresh in. I got 7-hour breaks, so I'm good on hours right now. But let's see what he comes up with. Good morning, y'all. Just got some news. I got a load here from Gainesville, so I think it's 10 miles from here. Loaded chicken going to Orlando, Florida. My favorite. But I got out. When I looked at yesterday it was starting to rain, so I really didn't look at the repairs. He just showed me that it was running and everything he did. But when I woke up this morning and to turn it on, which I didn't realize yesterday when I turned it off, was on the switch, there's a little nut that keeps that switch tight on that panel. I've been missing that little nut for a long time. I just never got around to replacing it, never really thought about it. Usually when I get home, I finish all my trucking business, and then I go home and forget I'm a truck driver and enjoy my time with my family, my kids, and my lady, right? So yeah, I woke up and seen that, and that minor details is what will give my business to a repair shop or any facility I go to. When people notice stuff like that and they fix it for no reason. Also, another thing they did is what you told me, and they didn't charge me for. Okay, well you can't see, but from when you go into defrost, you got two discharge pipes, one right there and one on one side. Well, mine on this side, it leaks. So when it goes into defrost, all my water is just on the inside, you know, going all over my battery, going all over the parts on the inside. It's water. It doesn't really cause no damage, but it got replaced. He was like, oh, I noticed this was damaged. I replaced it. Some heat shrink, no charge. Minor details like that is what will make me come back and give business to here. So far, this Transcold, and if you ever been, there's one in New Orleans. It's actually in Kenner, right next to the Pilot on Airline Highway. These two carrier places have treated me extra good every time I've gone there, and I usually try to give them my business if I'm in the area. So if I'm ever in Gainesville, or if y'all ever in Gainesville and need help with y'all reefer and there's a carrier, bring it over here to MHC Transcold in Gainesville. I will definitely put a Google thing right here if I haven't already. So thank you guys for your business. took them 4 hours, but they got me loaded. I was working, but they told me to get here as fast as possible, so I get that's why. But we're loaded on the way to Orlando. That's right. Well, good morning, guys. We left up there, Gainesville, Georgia, and Atlanta traffic. It took me maybe 3 hours to get down here to. This is Pinehurst. I done recorded this right here. This is the, I think, Golden Save or something like that, with the big parking lot and the trash cans for truck drivers. So yeah, we're about 5 hours out of Orlando. I'm gonna stop in Lake City real quick and probably get a splash of fuel, because fuel in Florida right now is going to, it looks like it's going to be under $4 after I get my discount. Like, so not at the pump, but when I get payroll, it'll be under $4. So, because right now it's $4.04 down in Wildwood. This is on Saturday the 18th. My appointment in Orlando ain't till 6 o'clock this evening. So there was this paid parking lot over there nearby that I like to go to. Actually, there's two. I might go try the new one I was told about. But we're gonna go that way. See what they're. Just sit there and chill. Get my 3-hour break. And then make my decision after we get unloaded. Might be at the unloader for 7 hours, so you never know. But I don't want to drive in the middle of the day, which we already getting a late start. It's about to be 7, so yeah, let's go. Well, guys, had a little emergency real quick here in Ocala, Florida. I'm about to get back rolling, but my reefer had turned off. I was going down the road. I noticed the light wasn't on back there, so I had to pull over real quick and check out what's wrong. Cause I'm gonna be honest, I know it was running for the last 100 miles, so something like that. I had to pull over quick because I need to get this reefer back started as soon as possible. So I seen that it wasn't getting no power because the switch was on. So the first thing I went to was batteries. I noticed my ground wire was a little loose, so I tightened it up and started right back up. So I'm gonna get down here to Wildwood and tighten these cables real snug, and hopefully that's it. It's a good battery, I know that. So I'm just glad it wasn't a starter or something. If it's an alternator, I can deal with an alternator. I can't really I can't get really started. So let's get down here to Wildwood. I have a lot of memories here in Ocala. I went to firefighter school here in Ocala. So this is another town.
Get out the middle lane.
Big good memories in. But everything's good. We're gonna keep on rolling. Well, guys, we made it. We made it here to Ocala, Florida. Reefer's still running good. Topped off my tanks and my reefer, my tanks and my reefer tank. Reefer's still running good. Just a loose ground wire. I'll make a little short about how I diagnosed it so quick. Some people aren't mechanically inclined, so fortunately, me, my brother, my fathers, we're all kind of mechanically inclined. But here, right next to this, behind this truck is a 75 Chrome Shop. Yeah, nice KW over there. This is where all the big money stay over there. But usually I go over there, but if I find a spot here for free, I'm gonna pay. You gotta pay to park over there. So about to here, take a shower real quick, and I'll come back out and get something to eat, I guess. So, let's get clean. Checked in. All right, thank you. So we gotta turn around, get in line with these truckers. Then check in at 6:15, which is in 30 minutes. Back in over here. Looks pretty simple. Looks straightforward. So, EJ Logistics. Ready to get home. Ready to get home. Might make it home today, depending on how it goes here. Might not. Ain't no telling. Might get tired. That might. Who knows? But I like, man, this place feels familiar, like I've been here before. But I deliver around this area a lot. I've delivered to plenty places around here. That's kind of how I knew how to get here without even really looking at the map. check in at 6:15. chicken, guys. Well, we finally empty. I paid the lumper fee and went, man. They told me to pull out the dock, pull forward, and go park in front of the docks, right? So I go do that. Look, I still need about 2 hours and 2.5 hours for my 7-hour break. So I go to sleep. And when I go to sleep, I had already set my alarm clock to go off at 7 hours. So when I go to sleep, my alarm clock wakes up and I ain't get a call yet. So I walk up there and ask them, Was I supposed to wait on the call or after I paid my lumper, just walk here? Most of the time when you pay your lumper, a lumper will call you and tell you, hey, good to go, come get your paperwork. Well, here they don't. Here you got to, once you pay your lumper, you go ahead and go where you need to go. So, yeah, I got a free 7-hour break, so I ain't complaining about that. Don't tell me a truck. Oh, okay. I'm about to say I thought a truck driving and knock the fire hydrant out. But yeah, so I got a 7-hour break, which gives me enough time to get home. When I initially got unloaded and paid the lumper, I only had like 2 hours, so I couldn't make it home with that. I was already 5 hours into a break, 5.5 hours, so it worked out good. 4.5 hours actually, yeah. So it worked out good. So we finna check out and get rolling. Oh man, battery's about to die. Well guys, we're coming into Daytona Beach right here. This weekend is the Daytona 500. So if my camera doesn't die before we see the raceway, it's right over this bridge. It's a beauty. I always wanted to go to a NASCAR race, and if I do, it would be either right here. You guys probably can't see the stadium. It's much closer to me than on the camera. But that's Daytona. That's the Daytona 500. That's the Daytona racetrack right here, right off of 95. And this weekend is the Daytona 500. So if I go to NASCAR race, it's gonna be either Daytona 500, Talladega, Indianapolis, or Darlington. Those are some of the races I want to go to. And we might go to Talladega this year. Me and a couple friends. So we'll see. We're really into motorsports. So 215 miles out, 3 hours, a little over 3 hours. Let's get it.
The leakers, come on, yeah. Nigga, this shit too easy.
Last video I said well no, I was talking actually to my homeboy about oversized loads, because when I did the RGN, did a lot of oversized loads. Even at TMC we did a bunch of oversized loads. And one thing I do remember from oversized loads is you only run from dusk to dawn. That's why you rarely see overnight loads at night, and if you do see them at night, they're usually super loads, stuff that can't get moved during the day because it'll cause too much traffic. So maybe something like this. This thing's it's two things wide, so it's pretty big. So yeah, glad I got to experience that and get to record that. Escorted by 2 troopers and 2 escorts, and a bunch of company trucks as well. They might be going into the rest area, way station, I mean. But at this point, they're probably going to the way station to park. But at this, I'm sure they're not going in there to check paperwork, because why would they have to? They're getting escorted already. So the state's already state. That wouldn't make no sense for them to go wait if they already have permits and everything. That wouldn't make no sense. So I'm sure they're going in there to park maybe. That's what I would assume.